Hello everyone, Richard here, and welcome to the first installment in my Killing Floor 2 complete guide. And in this video, we'll be covering the very basics of this game, as well as covering some basic do's and don'ts. So, let's get started. With any new game, you're probably wondering what it's all about, and if you're not familiar with the original game, there can be a bit of a learning curve. In essence, Killing Floor 2 is a first-person, wave-based survival game pitting you and up to 5 of your friends against a near-endless onslaught of biological experiments known as Zeds. These can range from rather harmless clots to the nearly unstoppable flesh pounds. You and your squad of survivors must team up and utilize various character classes and weapons in order to fight them back and to secure victory. The final game will feature 10 playable classes, also known as perks. This will include the Medic, Demolitions, Commando, Firebug, Support, Berserker, Gunslinger, Sharpshooter, SWAT, and finally, the Martial Artist. Each class will specialize in certain abilities, all of which will synergize to make your squad more effective. Each match will consist of a series of waves, and the amount will vary depending on game length. Short games will take 4 waves, normal games will take 7 waves, and long games will take 10 waves. After all of the waves have been completed, you must then fight a special boss Zed. In the final release of the game, there will be at least 3 bosses: Hans Volter, the Patriarch, and the Matriarch. Only the first boss, Hans, is in the current release of the game. One unique feature of Killing Floor 2 is that enemy Zeds will have different abilities and health based on the difficulty. While most will be rather harmless on normal, progressing onwards into hard, suicidal, and hell on earth difficulties will see Zeds deal more damage and have increased health. Some will even run faster or perform special attacks that they normally wouldn't on other difficulties, providing a very dynamic combat experience. At the start of every new match, you will spawn in with a 9mm pistol, a melee weapon, a welder, a medical syringe, and a starter weapon pertaining to your class. Unlike the first game, the starting wave can actually be quite hectic, especially with several players in the game. You can see how many enemies remain by looking at the top left-hand corner of the screen, as well as the direction in which the traitor is. In-game, you earn both money and experience for killing Zeds. Certain classes will also earn XP from performing specific tasks such as healing for the medic or welding doors for the support. Players can also earn money for healing injured players, whether it be with a medical syringe or with one of the medical guns. Once all Zeds are killed in a wave, the trader pod will open up and allow you to purchase weapons, armor, and ammunition. The pod will only be open for a limited amount of time, so it is advised that you get relatively close before the wave is finished. In addition to buying weapons, you can also sell weapons you are no longer using for cold, hard dosh. Once the pod shuts, the new round will begin and the trader pod will change its active location. When shopping at the trader pod, you will have access to an impressive arsenal, ranging from assault rifles to shotguns and even a microwave gun. While many of these weapons may seem cool, it is important to use class-specific weapons. For example, Commandos specialize with assault rifles and as such will do more damage with them. However, he gains no damage bonus from using shotguns or medic guns. As a general rule, the only time you ever want to purchase an out-of-perk weapon is if you buy the medic pistol, which can be quite valuable on later waves. You can easily sort the trader pod by clicking on your perks icon. This can help eliminate some of the clutter in the menu system. As mentioned earlier, you will earn experience points for killing enemies with perk-related weapons, and for performing perk-related tasks. This XP will progress each perk through 25 levels, and each level will provide you with a passive bonus so long as you have the class equipped. This usually includes dealing more damage or increased damage resistance. Every 5 levels, however, you will unlock a new skill tier. Each skill tier contains 2 skills. You may select only one per tier, however they can be alternated after each round is completed, but only once per round. While perks may have some base specialization, players can use these skills to further customize their class to fill specific roles in a team, and also tailor your loadout to better meet certain situations. In-game, you may have noticed that occasionally after a player has killed an enemy, it will go into slow motion for a few moments. This is what is known as Z time, and will randomly occur when a player scores a kill. During this time, you can quickly plan an escape, or accurately land headshots on normally agile opponents, which has been a lifesaver for many players. The last tier of skills in any perk will contain Z time bonuses that will only be active during slow motion. These are usually designed to give players a quick and powerful edge in combat, which can be a godsend when fighting more durable opponents. For example, the Commando's rapid fire ability lets you fire 3 times faster and deal 3% more damage, and the demo's nuke ability, well, that's just f***ing OP. Another thing to take note of is the fact that every enemy in game will have specific resistances to certain damage types. For example, Skrakes will take only half the normal damage from explosives, and Husks will only take half damage from fire attacks. Conversely, some enemies will have certain weaknesses as well. Fleshpounds are vulnerable to explosives, while the previously mentioned Skrake will take increased damage from microwave guns. While on lower difficulties, this may seem pretty inconsequential. As more players join and the difficulty increases, Zeds will become significantly tougher. As an example, a Fleshpound on normal difficulty with one player in the game will have a little over 1100 health. However, on hard difficulty with 2 players, he becomes twice as durable and will also deal more damage to boot, meaning you'll need every ounce of damage you can get. Before we end this video, a few simple do's and don'ts should be explained. Do be a team player. See what perks other players are using in game and try to complement them as best you can. There's no need to have 6 berserkers in one game, and teams will benefit from a diverse composition. Do not shoot Skrakes unless you plan on finishing them off quickly. Once Skrakes lose a certain percentage of their health, they will become enraged and charge, increasing their speed dramatically, and they will not slow down until they are slain. Do heal people even if you aren't a medic. You can use your medical syringe on other players to heal them. While it won't be much, it can be the difference between them living and them pushing up daisies. Do not weld doors that don't need to be welded. Not only will this limit your mobility and take time, but it can trap you and other players if you need to evacuate quickly, and sometimes you won't have time to switch to your welder. And finally, the golden rule of Killing Floor 2, use your head. And remember, you're playing as a team, so make sure you think before you do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, whether you be a new player to Killing Floor or a veteran. If you have any questions or felt I missed anything important, drop it in the comment section below so we can all benefit from the information. Thank you guys very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.